The Chernobyl disaster was a catastrophic nuclear disaster on April 1986 at a Chernobyl nuclear plant in what was then part of the URSS. It occurred during a late-night safety test simulating a station blackout power failure. A combination of inherent reactor design flaws and the reactor operators arranging in the core in a manner contrary to the checklist for the test eventually resulted in uncontrolled reaction conditions.
Graph is represented as 3 to the power of x. The reference point is 0,1. Domain is minus infinity to infinity, and range 0 to infinity.
Exponential growth is a constant increase in number or size over a period of time. Meanwhile, exponential decay is exactly the opposite of this. The basic function that represents exponential growth is a equals p parentheses 1 plus r close parentheses times t. And the basic function that represents exponential decay is a equals p parentheses 1 minus r close parentheses times t. Thanks to this disaster, 28 workers died within 4 months of the accident, and a total of 31 civilians died from radiation exposure, and most of the population evacuated the place. Nuclear energy is not a clean or viable energy source. The Chernobyl disaster could have been prevented if the correct security measures and other types of preventions had been used. Trees surrounding the area were killed by the radiation and turned into bright red color, which is why it is known as the Red Forest. In Mexico, there is a nuclear energy plant located in Veracruz. We believe it is not safe. Nuclear energy is damaging to the environment and causes deadly disasters, so we don't support it, because there are better alternatives like solar, hydroelectric, and eolic energy.
Most of the times, people are not aware of the consequences a certain thing may bring. For instance, the burning of fossil fuels, or, in this case, the release of chemical energy. This energy is far dangerous than we can imagine. It may have a consequence on a lot of aspects of our lives if used incorrectly, from environmental to economic repercussions. First of all, chemical energy can be harmful to the environment, given that its products contribute to pollution. It also comes along with a high price, not even worth all the radioactive waste it produces. Due to all the reasons previously mentioned, it is incredibly important that campaigns to raise awareness are created. Campaigns where citizens can really know what the government is playing with and know the consequences it may lead to. Equally as important, we must make sure that the government knows we are not fools and we don't want to live in danger. People must be conscious that global warming is a real thing and that we should start making big changes.
This project was a very good way to understand what happened in Chernobyl many years ago. Then we investigated about nuclear energy and how it has a big impact in global warming. We did learn many things about it we didn't know. Also, we had the opportunity to work in teams with students with Campus Valle Alto. It has been a good experience.
I've learned that we can work with other people in teams even though we don't know each other. Also, that the radioactivity in Chernobyl will take years to be contained, and because of poor safety precautions this happened. If they have taken more precautions about what could happen, maybe Chernobyl will be another city in which they use nuclear energy and that's it. But this was an example to humanity to take the right precautions in things that are not well investigated.
During this project, I learned a lot about the events that caused Chernobyl disaster, how better security preventions could have prevented this, the consequences of nuclear energy, and about exponential growth and decay in this situation. I enjoyed a lot working with the students of the other campus and finding a way to work with them even though we didn't know each other previously. I believe this kind of projects are a great way to practice teamwork.
Honestly, I enjoyed a lot doing this project because meeting other girls from different campuses was really nice, and finding a way in which we could cooperate and work together to get the work done was really interesting and a very good experience. From this project, I take the consequences that nuclear energy may lead